Hi Bridget. On International Day of the Midwife, can you give us a snapshot of midwifery around the world?
Midwifery it's an exciting time for midwives. That's where I should start. There has never been such a focus in our modern era, which means ever, on midwives. The World Health Organization has identified that in order for the world to achieve the Millennium Development Goals, we need 350,000 more midwives. And this is especially to achieve Millennium Development Goal 5, which is to improve maternal health. And a specific target of that goal is that we reduce the amount of the numbers of women who are dying in pregnancy and childbirth. And those numbers today are over 500,000 a year. That translates to one woman every minute dies in childbirth. We have six years to achieve Millennium Development Goal 5. It's the only Millennium Development Goal that has made no progress in the last 8 years. And there is increased pressure on governments, both in the G8, the G20, as well as low-income countries, to achieve this goal. And globally, we know what to do. The brutal truth is that the vast majority of these deaths in pregnancy and childbirth are entirely preventable. Women are dying because they have no access to care. They don't have healthcare providers. The healthcare providers themselves don't have life-saving drugs. Women don't have literal road access and vehicle access to get from their homes to a hospital or a health center if they need it. And healthcare providers, including midwives, are not supported in sustainable workplaces. There's a terrible brain drain taking place. Midwives are leaving low-income countries to come to places like Canada and the United States to work. And countries are not providing incentives for their healthcare workers to stay in the low-income countries and provide necessary healthcare.
And can you please speak to the role that the International Confederation of Midwives is playing in terms of making some positive changes that need to be made in midwifery around the world?
Yes. If we're going to grow a workforce by 350,000 midwives, and we're looking at countries, low-income countries that are, many of them are unstable, many of them have very poor infrastructures, the International Confederation of Midwives has recognized that we need to establish global standards for education. We need to establish global standards for regulation, and we have engaged in that work in the last few months. Since I have become president and with the direction of our council, we have made this a priority over this triennium, over these 3 years, so that countries looking to develop strong, well-educated midwifery workforces will have the right standards and regulations as reference points to achieve that goal. We are also working very closely with the World Health Organization and the United Nations Population Fund to strengthen professional midwifery associations in low-income countries globally. We've recognized the tremendous need to have midwifery leaders who can work in policy development at global levels as well as at national and regional levels, to speak up on behalf of women and their children and their families in terms of being able to provide accessible, high-quality midwifery care.
Great. And can you speak to midwifery in Canada?
Midwifery in Canada is one of the shining examples of midwifery globally. We should be so proud. It's one of the things when I go out into the world, everybody wants to know about the model that we have developed and very successfully developed here in Canada. Here in Ontario, we're celebrating 15 years of regulated midwifery. We started in 1994 with just 60 midwives, and today there are over 400 of us practicing in clinics across this province. We have strong regulation, we have an excellent education system, and we have a very strong professional association. And those are the 3 pillars of any strong healthcare profession anywhere. So yes, and then across Canada, in all of the provinces except Prince Edward Island at this point and Newfoundland, we've established regulated and funded midwifery. which is quite an accomplishment. We really are in many ways the envy of the rest of midwives globally. And the other very unique feature of midwifery in Canada is that we have upheld the notion of informed decision-making on the part of the woman. All midwives are required to provide women with informed choice about the care they receive, and the woman is the decision-maker. And the other piece is that we're required by a regulatory body to follow women to their choice of birthplace, whether it's at home or in the hospital. And there's no other jurisdiction in the world where that's required in regulation. And in Quebec, we also have a wonderful tradition now, 15-year tradition of birth centers. And midwives have been providing care to women in birth centers in Quebec. Again, it's unique in the world. There's no other specific jurisdiction anywhere globally where midwives have been working only through birth centers. So there's a lot to be proud of here. The other is that the provincial governments have recognized the need to grow midwifery, to expand our numbers, and to make sure that midwifery is available to women wherever they live.
Bridget, I want to congratulate you on International Day of the Midwife, on another achievement, which is that you are the first Canadian to be president of this international body. Congratulations, Bridget, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.